record.
Did I not?
No.
It's recording.
No, it's it is. It's on the other side now.
Absolute
They've
hell.
updated it. Bastards threw me right off. Anyway, welcome to the Pacifist Podcast, everybody. We are back again. I know last time it's like, everything will be up and running smoothly, and it didn't happen. But natural disasters do sometimes occur, apparently on the Isle of Wight. But Mushi survived, and that's what matters.
I'm still here.
He's alive.
Here. Just about.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, how was your stint in hospital? Was it okay?
Well, let's just say I'm on the road to recovery now. The relief effort is well underway. I want to thank UNICEF. I want to thank the UN. Everyone else that's just out there doing great stuff. It's greatly appreciated.
What I admire about you, Mushu, is in this day and age, when anything happens to anybody, people get on the internet and start begging for money. And they're like, I've done a GoFundMe because my dog broke their toenail. Please give all the money you can. I saw one the other day, and there was a woman saying, I'd really like to go on holiday this year. If you could donate anything small or large, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm like, we'd all like to go on fucking holiday, love. Yeah. Can we all do this? I mean,
yeah. I'd quite like a PlayStation 5 if anyone can help me out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But you didn't do that. I respect that. Well done.
Well, sometimes you just got to sack up and deal with shit on your own. What can I say?
Yeah, you the man. So what we did is we put unpopular opinions. That's the name of the game.
It was a toss-up between dreams and unpopular opinions, wasn't it? And we decided this week to go with the unpopular opinions because they're more fun.
Yeah, definitely. There's more shit to talk about other than rando dreams that I've had recently, of which there have been lots. But yeah, so the unpopular opinions. I mean, I put a lot of stuff up on the Facebook page because you know how much I love the interaction between everybody online.
Yeah.
But it seems that most of my unpopular opinions ended up being fairly popular opinions.
Yeah, but then we do have to address the issue that one of your unpopular opinions was so unpopular that you couldn't actually bring yourself to post it on Facebook. Don't we? So you've had to go with the lamer ones.
I wrote that post out about 6 times, and I mean, if I'd had a drink on any one of those nights, I'd have definitely posted it. But I was like, oh no, I can't. I'm just going to upset so many people. I mean, and I probably wouldn't. I mean, most people are pretty open-minded out there. But
I think, to be honest, a lot of the people that watch this or listen to this regularly probably understand where we're coming from now, and that unpopular opinions in our hands would probably be quite dangerous. So I don't think it would come as much of a shock. I think it's more for the new people, following us on Facebook and YouTube and stuff, that we don't want to lose them just yet. You know, we want them to at least watch a little bit of it first. So Sam's unpopular opinion is coming up soon.
Well, I reckon, because I'm going to edit it this week. I'm going to put the meme up right now. How the crap click? Let's try a better one. No, even worse. Hey, there it is. What do you think of that? Save the straws, people. Fuck the turtles. Save the straws.
Fuck the turtles. That, I mean, I can't get my head around this. This is so unpopular. I just can't conceive it. So you'd rather the plastic straws over the turtles?
Yeah, and my logic behind this is I've never seen a sea turtle, and I'm not likely to see a fucking sea turtle. The only place I'm going to see a sea turtle is in a tank at, I was about to say a fish restaurant. Not a fish restaurant, a SeaWorld, one of those sea life centres. But plastic straws, I used to see them all the time, and now I just don't buy drinks that require a straw because they do my fucking head in, because they're made of straw or cardboard, paper. I got a metal straw somewhere. Have you used a metal straw, Mushu?
No, because I don't like metal in my mouth.
Exactly. It's the most. It seems to make cold drinks 10 times colder than they fucking were in the first place. You drink it and you're like, how my teeth are? They must have shattered. There's no other way to describe it other than it feels like your teeth have been. Have you seen the meme where some horrible bastard? And I mean, if you're a bit sensitive, maybe turn off for the next 5 or 10 seconds, but some horrible bastard gets a nail clipper and cuts his fucking tooth off with a nail clipper. Have you seen that? I know. Oh,
No,
that's
but
how I feel
that's
when I use a
gothing.
metal straw. Oh, it's
What is
horrible.
wrong? What is wrong with people?
Don't know. I had it. I saw it the other day. It was in my Facebook feed, and I was like, oh,
No.
I can't watch that. Oh, it's revolting. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's an unpopular opinion, but I want plastic straws back, and to the detriment of turtles. They should stop sniffing them.
Well, I mean, one would argue there are alternatives to plastic straws that could be more suitable, like heavy-duty plastic, for instance, like a reusable plastic straw.
I mean, I had one of them as well. Sorry, I just like throwing them away. I mean, I'm all for greengrocers giving me paper bags with my vegetables in. I don't need a plastic bag with my carrots. Quite happy to get rid of all of that sort of shit. But when I want a fucking straw,
it would be nice if you could finish the drink without it disintegrating. Granted, I mean,
or that cardboard feeling that makes my fillings feel like they're going to fall out of their mouth. Did I tell you what? I once, the first time I had a paper straw from McDonald's, I had a double cheeseburger, my standard order, in case anyone's wondering, double cheeseburger and a large Diet Coke. And I was dead thirsty, so I had a bunch of Coke, and I bit into this cheeseburger. I was like, feels like there's a piece of cardboard in there. Like, I had another bite, and then I complained, and I don't often complain about food from McDonald's because, I mean, there's nothing to it, is there? But I was like, there's something wrong with this cheeseburger. They're like, what's wrong with it? I was like, honestly, tastes like fucking paper. And they're like, I'm so sorry. And they gave me a new one, which was great because it meant I got a cheeseburger plus 2 bites for the price of a cheeseburger.
Bargain.
Yeah. And I ate it, and I was like, it still tastes like cardboard. It's horrible. I have a sip of my drink, and I was like, I've just realised it's a fucking paper straw, isn't it? It's literally it. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, and metal straws, they're a no-go. Got the silicone ones, they're all right, but there's something about them. They're so difficult to clean.
And it's like this is what I was going to say. Now, I've been throwing my other half Rach under the bus a little bit in the recent series, but I'm going to do it again here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rach. In other news, I'm going to be single soon. She's got this thing, like she won't eat off cracked plates or anything like this, because she's worried about gingivitis, and apparently that's something you get from eating off cracked plates because of
that's the gum thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But because of the bacteria that gets in the cracks, it's impossible to wash or something along those lines. It's something that's never really affected me, so I've never really argued with her that much about it. It's fine. I'll have the cracked plate. That's not a problem. But she reuses drinking straws.
Just to clarify, Moosh's missus only has 2 plates. One's got a crack in it and one hasn't. I mean, it's terrible for a dinner party.
They're actually the bowls that we use because we've had such ferocious appetites. We use feeding bowls rather than plates.
And I mean, you can't get a metal one because it'll make your teeth hurt.
well, that's it. Yeah, and don't get me started on the sound of metal on metal.
Oh God! This should be called stuff that makes your feelings hurt, not unpopular opinions.
Well, yeah, maybe we can always change the name, can't we? So she reuses drinking straws, and they're just like the plastic sort of bendy ones, you know, the ones you bend.
Yeah, the old-fashioned great ones. You get them and they're straight, and you go
and then bend them out. Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, so she reuses them. She's got like 5 or 6 that she just reuses around the house, and I'm like, how is that any different from the cracked plate thing? Because surely you can't clean it properly. And like, and she drinks a lot of cocktails and stuff like that. She's not alcoholic or anything, but
after a hard day's watch,
you've got fruit residue, which is going to build up in those creases, and it's impossible to scrub them out. All you got to do is wash them in like hot water. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I think there's got to be an alternative to plastic straws which doesn't involve fucking the turtles over. That's my suggestion. I mean, I get your logic almost, but it's like me saying, like, I've never seen an elephant, so but I have seen a piano, so fucking use all the ivory for pianos, you know. That I'm not trying to convince you here. That was, oh, good God, this was.
I'm sold. Fuck it, I'm sold, mate. I have seen elephants, and do you know what? They're a bit clumsy. They use up a lot of room. I think I prefer them when they're in circuses because they just look like they're having such a good time when they're playing with the balls and standing up and stuff. And, you know, when they're out in the wild and rolling through people's houses. But the piano happens to be my favourite noise in the world. So, I mean, if it's going to improve the sound quality on it, fuck it. Fuck the elephants as well.
Okay, so I don't know where to go with that. So we're slowly wiping out endangered species. Any others you want to finish off while we're here? Rhinos?
No. You can't touch the whales. Can't touch them. No, they're too big. I respect that. Elephants are on land.
Turtles, elephants, fine.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah.
Whales. No, we leave whales alone.
Yeah, we leave them alone. I'll leave them alone. You could do what you fucking want to them. Fill them with straws if you want. Did you imagine that? They get stuck in their blowhole, and instead of it just coming out in one, it comes out like a sprinkler. There we go.
Like a water feature.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they've got a built-in water feature, but it's 2021. Let's upgrade that bitch.
I think we might need to do a show on the animal kingdom because I'm quite intrigued to see your thoughts on a lot of different animals here.
You don't.
I've always thought it was universally accepted that turtles, elephants, kind of cool. You know, yeah, we want to keep them around.
Don't get me wrong. I don't actively dislike either of these things, but I prefer the piano, and I would prefer to get a plastic straw when I go for a drink. And it's the fucking turtle's fault that we haven't got plastic straws anymore.
Well,
although I think it is ironic that the world got in such a massive tizzy about a turtle sniffing up a plastic straw and banned them within about 35 seconds. And then a real nasty case of the sniffles would go round and killed a couple of people. And now everybody's wearing rubber gloves, rubber hazmat suits, face masks.
It's funny how quickly we forget about these things, isn't it? It's very much virtue signalling, I think, on a lot of people's parts.
Oh, I hate virtue signaling so much, Mushu. You know my thoughts on this.
The worst thing in the universe. You can sniff it out a mile away, and I instantly just disregard what anyone's saying if they're doing it. You know.
Oh, mate,
it's just fuck off and form your own opinion, even if it's an unpopular one. You know, at least have your own mind.
Yeah.
Look at Sam. Look at Sam here. He's fucking educating the world here as to have an opinion, even if nobody else fucking agrees with you, and people start hating you a bit for it.
I don't do this to make friends.
It's a good thing.
It certainly is handy. No, but virtue signaling. The word. Come on. Are we going to go into? Shall I?
It's a rabbit hole that we could talk a long time about. I think this might be one for another show.
So let's do it now, Mushu.
Well, we've got quite a lot of opinions to go through, and you know.
Okay, let's save it because I'll just get irate.
And there's a very good chance we've lost quite a few viewers anyway. Now that they think we all hate turtles, I must just say that's not my opinion.
I do like, and do you know what? Big fan of tortoise. I like the land-based ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they can't get away.
What about terrapins?
Are they the rivery ones?
Yeah, they're the little sort of pointy ones. They're like torpedo turtles.
Yeah, kind of indifferent. I mean, I don't want to shove a straw up. I don't want to shove a straw up any of us' noses, just to clarify. Do you know what I really do hate, though? I genuinely despise, and it could be because I grew up in America, snapping turtles. What the fucking hell point in them? They are awful. They bite hands off.
Yeah, they're just like mobile armored bear traps, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that video a little while ago. The snapping turtle defending its watering hole from a pack of lions.
That's a bad bastard, isn't it?
And this lion's just trying to drink, and they've cut out the sort of good parts, so to speak. They've just got it sort of like reaching out the water, like nom, nom, nom. But it skips on a bit, and this lion's pissing blood out of his mouth, so it's clearly caught him at one point.
See, they're cunts. They're just cunts.
Yeah,
they are.
I mean,
do you know what would sort that out? Do you know what would have saved that lion's life?
Fucking plastic straw.
Yeah, plastic straws. Because could have joined them all together, just had a little sip from the far back, couldn't they? Left them in there, then it would have fucked that snapping turtle up.
Well, there we go. But
I'm a big fan of lions as well.
You make a good point about the plastic. Sort of like we all jump on the bandwagon, like save this, and like you know, there's islands out there of floating human garbage. You
Yeah,
know,
shocking.
at the end of the day, I think straws are important. Personally, I think they're quite important to do something to the environment, but by no means is it the biggest problem.
Not even close. Again, I think it just comes back to that virtue signaling thing, isn't it? It's just like, oh, I am so great, everybody. I ditched all plastic straws. Now I use these artisan glass blown ones. They're really, really good, unless you fall over with your drink in your house, in your hand, and then it spears you through the face. Plus, it costs £15 per straw.
We've all been there. We've all been
Yeah.
there.
Haven't we just? Oh God, I just fucking do my.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is particularly going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think woke people can fuck off.
Ooh. I'm a little. Okay. Yes, you are right, but also, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. I mean, I don't care if you're gay. If you want to, if you want to fuck a man because you're a man, or if you're a woman, you want to fuck a woman, fuck them. I literally couldn't give a shit.
Nope.
And I think if you're a man and you want to be a woman, I couldn't give a fuck. Don't think children should be encouraged to do it though. Lots of kids are doing it these days. I feel like they should maybe write something in the law and be like, look, I know you feel more comfortable acting or dressing or identifying is probably the correct word. I'm not the wokest person in the world, so apologies there if I've upset anybody. Only a little apology. I feel like you should have to wait until you say 21. Maybe 21. That's maybe a bit old because of the hormone aspect.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a difficult thing because when do you sort of trust that a child's in sort of compos mentis, so to speak, able to make decisions which are going to affect the rest of their life?
I'm glad you asked that, Mushi. I can answer that. Never.
Yeah. I mean, effectively, we we treat them as children until they leave school, don't we? Pretty much. So, but saying that, there was. I've got to get this the right way around. There was a boy at our school who was born a girl.
Okay.
Horrendously uncomfortable from day dot.
Yeah.
Always preferred boys stuff, always did everything. And I believe they were going through gender reassignment when they came through our school. Obviously, I'm not going to name names or anything like that. But, even then, back then, I mean, this was a while ago because I am very old.
Yes, you are.
This was quite a while ago, so this was almost unheard of, this sort of thing, but he was genuinely accepted as a boy.
That's cool.
And I'm very much the same. I don't give a shit about what you do in your own life. I'm certainly not homophobic. I'm not racist. I don't think I'm prejudiced in any real way, shape, or form.
I am.
I've got minor prejudice, but nothing sort of against someone's life choices or anything like that, really.
Oh no, it's just turtles.
Just turtles. Fuck them.
It's caused me issues.
But I'm not about to go out on a crusade about them. I'm not going to go out and go on Facebook and say how woke I am by like, oh, look at me supporting gay pride and all this. Gay pride's a great idea. Everyone loves it. I've been to a few gay pride events. I've been at gay clubs. I think they're great. Literally could not give a fuck. But I'm not going out there championing them because it's not really my business. And I don't want to be that bloke that everyone's like, oh, look at him going. I know a few people who every bandwagon there is, they'll jump on it just to show how down to earth and in touch they are with reality. And it's just like, who do you need to prove this to? Why are you so insecure that you need the sort of, you need other people to see you as this all-knowing fucking legend? It just makes no sense to me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, man, it's virtue signaling, isn't it? That's exactly what it is.
I think it really sort of drives home how important unpopular opinions are because they make you unique. I love throwing out an opinion that's going to piss people off.
Yeah, so do I, Rishi.
I mean,
you see
anyway,
me on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And I jump into arguments all the time. Like the vaccination argument's great. I don't really give a shit either way if people get them or don't. I'd rather people get them because I personally believe in vaccinations. But if somebody doesn't want to get a vaccination, don't get it. That's up to you. It's your personal choice. I'm very pro-choice.
We've got to stop talking about vaccinations. YouTube's algorithms will literally cut the whole show.
Will it really?
I'm not going down the vaccination route. I have very strong opinions on it. But yeah,
right. We'll probably edit that out then.
Unfortunately, we can't go down that route.
Okay, fair enough. I did not know that.
Yeah. There's a couple of podcasts and shows that I listen to have literally been taken off the air because of stupid things. Well, did you see the thing with Joe Rogan?
No. I was going to listen to that tonight, actually. The one you sent me.
Yes, yeah. Dave Smith is a comedian in New York. Joe Rogan, everybody knows who Joe Rogan is. Those two were on the same podcast together. Fucking brilliant episode. Really recommend it. Dave Smith is the unofficial leader of the Libertarian Party in America.
Right.
He's not, but they don't really have one, and he's probably the most famous one. So they're sort of dubbing him as that. Anyway, they're on there talking about COVID in general and vaccinations in general and stuff like that. And a few of the things that Joe Rogan said are perfectly valid in every way, shape and form. But it just caused a massive uproar. He had to give an apology and everything. So I say we just steer clear of that subject.
Okay, fair enough. Yep. Fair enough.
But guys and listeners, I thoroughly recommend listening to Dave Smith's Part of the Problem. I think he did an episode called Everybody Should Get a Vaccination. And the Dave Smith that's on Joe Rogan. Very, very interesting episodes. Very long, though. But yeah, thoroughly recommend it.
Okay, well, moving on then.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We were talking about woke people, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Yeah, but I just think it's really, really aggravating. I think everyone should have at least a few unpopular opinions and not be afraid to throw them out there.
Yeah, I feel like, but the whole woke culture. God, that was a tongue twister. It really wasn't. It's become less about equality and more just about cancel culture and shaming people seemingly all the time. But maybe it's because the people who are doing that shout the loudest, post the most, use the most capitals or whatever. I don't really understand why, but it's like you see something like feminism's a great thing. Equality, having women being able to vote and leave the kitchen and not have to rely on their husbands for money. I mean, it's sad, but it's great for the ladies.
Not so good for us because we've got to start fending for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, how do you darn a sock, Moosh? I just throw it in the sea and let the turtles deal with it. Just buy a new one.
This is how the Ninja Turtles were born. They're not masks, people. They're Sam's old socks.
Yeah, they are. That's where the other half ones go. I think it's a great thing, and the overall message is great. But like anything, as soon as you get extremists on there, it just, to me, it just becomes noise in the background. I see it all the time, and it's like, oh, you're mansplaining. I'm like, no, I'm just explaining, and I'm a man. It's not called womansplaining when you do it, and I have shit. I'm told how to suck eggs all the fucking time. Yeah, and I do the polite thing. And I listen and I go, oh yeah, great, thanks, cheers, because it's just manners. Whereas if I do it, I'm just like, oh, you're man explaining. I'm like, not though, am I? You asked me a question, I'm just giving you a fucking answer.
I get the mansplaining thing. I mean, there are some very valid examples of it, but by and large, it's annoying when you're doing something like you're explaining something to a woman, say, and you're accused of mansplaining when you'd give exactly the same explanation to a bloke if they were there in the same situation. And it's like, how do you win against that? There's a very fine line between feminism and man hating, I think.
But you can't win. This is the thing, is you never can. It's like if someone calls you a racist, the second you have to then defend yourself, you're losing.
Yeah,
it's that you got these key phrases like, oh, you're mansplaining. Like, well, I wasn't, but the fact that I now have to explain myself kind of makes me do that. It's like I'm like I'm done. I'm done with that conversation now.
Yeah, just back out of it.
It's just not fucking worth getting into the argument.
No,
no,
it's really not.
Oh yeah, that does get on my tits. But should we lighten the mood a little bit?
Why not? Why not?
Okay, right. Scones. Where do you put your cream? On the top or the bottom?
You know what? This could possibly be an unpopular opinion. I don't like cream and jam on scones. I like them plain.
What? Like a fucking bag of sand with raisins in?
Yeah, maybe a bit of butter, but
you just bite into it like a Neanderthal. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Just eat it like an American.
No, they have biscuits and they cover it in fucking gravy, which isn't fucking gravy. It's sausage roux.
I've seen that. It looks like cat sick.
It horrible. Does. It tastes delicious, mate. It's butter, flour, milk, and sausage meat. But you put the sausage meat in first, so you got the fat, so you don't have to add as much butter. I mean, it's better with more butter. And then they pour it over a scone. Fucking weird. I was expecting gravy, and I was like, oh, biscuit and actual gravy. That sounds pretty fucking nice. And then it came out, and I was like, what the fuck are you? What is?
This is the danger of America. They use normal words for abnormal things.
Yeah, don't they?
Bastards. Yeah, how do you stand a chance against that?
Yeah, you don't. You just
no. I like eating them just sort of plain, maybe with a bit of butter on them. Cut them in half, stick a bit of butter on them, and eat them.
You, sir, are a pervert. Simple as that.
I'm willing to bet at least one or two people that listen to this will do the same. I'm hoping they do. Otherwise,
okay. Well, comment down below. Is Mushu a fucking knobhead for not you?
That's a bit harsh. But...
Oh, and subsequent question: is it weird to eat a scone with nothing on it?
Yeah. So, I mean, if I was going to do it, I guess I would go cream first and then jam.
That's so weird. You see, I grew up in Devon. I've already said I grew up in America. I grew up in a lot of different places. It's the fact that I live on a traveller site is becoming very clear.
You can grow up once. You can't grow up everywhere.
Okay, I was in America when I was really young, and then during my formative years, I was in Devon, and it turns out I do my scones like they do in Cornwall. So, go figure. I think I've only been in Cornwall once.
Is there a way to do it there? Do they do it differently across the border?
Yeah, so Devon do it like retards, like you, cream, then jam. And Cornwall do jam, then cream. But I'm not a big cream fan, so I like a lot of jam and then just a dollop of cream on the top, so it looks nice. And then maybe a strawberry stuck into that, and then it goes red, white, red, which looks nice.
Oh, no. I don't like putting fruit on things. It's fucking... no.
It's got fruit in it, Mushu.
I know, but it's hidden fruit, isn't it? It's secret fruit that you don't know about, really.
Oh, when you buy a raisin scone or a sultana scone, I'd be like, oh, what a treat.
That
was moist.
It's just part of the thing. It's not like you put a fruit, it's not like it's advertised on top. I don't know. I will always, at cake shops and stuff, if something's got fruit on it, I will avoid it. If it's got visible fruit on it. If it's got fruit in it, I'll eat it. But if it's got visible fruit on it, no, it's not for me.
What about a lardy cake? Because everything about a lardy cake should be disgusting. It's made with fucking lard. It's like the greatest thing.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
Oh, try it, mate. It's got secret fruit in it, just to pre-warn you, but it's fucking banging. It's the weirdest thing you've ever had.
Okay. Well, I'll look them up. I mean, they sound disgusting. I can't see myself ever eating one, but I will look them up.
They do. And they should definitely change the name, rebrand that bitch.
Yeah, it's like faggots, Mr. Brain's faggots. I fucking love them, but my God, how has that survived?
I love that. That is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, but in today's culture where everything gets stopped for being offensive to someone, and we're still allowed to eat faggots, you know?
Yeah, I ate some faggots that I bought down the market the other day.
Oh,
they were all lined up one by one. I picked the skinniest.
Yeah, I like gobbling down on a nice big fat juicy faggot.
Yeah, lovely. What do you put on it? Gravy?
Smothered all over it, mate. Yeah, drooled in gravy. Vinegar as well. Very good. Yeah, I know. But
what?
My ex-father-in-law, he was Welsh, and apparently it's a Welsh thing. You put vinegar on faggots, and it's very nice.
Oh, well, it makes sense that it's a Welsh thing, because it's not a normal thing, that's for sure.
Hi, Wales.
Yeah. Oh, I love Wales. Best accent ever.
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
Yeah, it feels so warm and inviting. You just talk to people.
Not one that gets taken very seriously, though, is it? I mean, you could never imagine a Welsh scientist or a Welsh rocket scientist or something like that, or a Welsh
or a head
surgeon.
teacher, telling you off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like really thick Norfolk accent. You can't imagine a Norfolkian rocket scientist either.
It's funny. Could you imagine? And I completely agree. If you were to add Scouse and real Scottish into the mix as well, but could you imagine what are they called? Who are the guys? Barristers, the ones with the wigs.
Yeah.
Do you imagine one of them doing their closing statements in like a Scouse act, like a real, because the Scouse has got to be one of the coolest and weirdest accents ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how it's formed. I mean, it's fairly close to Wales, isn't it? Liverpool? Is it close? Am I wrong on that? You've got Wales and then Liverpool.
It's moderately close, I guess.
Well, they've both got such diverse accents in comparison to like our beautiful southern tones. It's true.
It's like the Birmingham accent as well, isn't it? That's sort of...
the Brummie one. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to I don't know, it's just difficult to take seriously.
Yeah. Could you imagine you've got someone who's on murder and I can't do any of these accents.
No, neither can I. I desperately want to, but I know I can't do them. So.
A closing statement in in like a really important court case with just like a Scouse doing it would just be hilarious. I don't know if it would get him off or not. That's the thing.
The jury have already written him off. They're guilty. Look at their barrister. Christ. Send him down.
He's already said tolty tol 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 tol. Oh, nonsense.
So it doesn't really bother me that the scone thing, I'm afraid.
No, fair enough.
No opinion on it either way. I've got my very own way of eating scones, which apparently is abnormal.
What, with gravy on it? You fucking weirdo.
Well, I don't put gravy on it.
Oh, sorry, it's the American one. That's sausage roux.
Yeah.
It's a bad look, mate. It's a super bad look. Well, we'll talk about food. So should we go through some of the other food ones that came up? What did we have? We had fries, didn't we? Burger King fries.
Yeah, well behind this.
Okay. I was until I think it was Tracy who piped up who said KFC fries are dog shit. And then you said, they're like jacket potatoes, but I've just been sliced up.
Yeah, which I stand by. I didn't do it in that accent, to be fair, but...
That's how I read it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, fucking hell, Mushu.
Right. Oh, here he goes, yeah. Fucking baked potatoes.
Yeah. Always about the potatoes, isn't it? There are other root vegetables available, people. I agree, Burger King fries are way better than McDonald's fries.
Yeah, but I haven't been to Burger King for so long. I can't really remember them.
Yeah, they're just a bit crispier, aren't they? McDonald's fries are always soggy. I mean, if they come out, if you've had them within like 30 seconds of them coming out of the fat fryer, the McDonald's fries are all right. But whoever has fries within 30 seconds of them coming out of the fat fryer, they're just like this gelatinous, pale glob, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not stuck together, but they look like they're stuck together. They're just a bit shit.
Yeah.
But I think the new KFC fries are way better because they actually feel like there's a bit of potato in them.
No.
Yeah.
Hard no. KFC fries are shite. I had KFC last night. And
because you love the fries so much.
They are shite. No, I didn't actually get fries. I stole them off my boys. Because like being a parent, you got to take your food tax, haven't you? Nothing's free.
I call it testing for poison, but yes.
Exactly that. Yeah. However you want to. I call it food tax because it gets the boys ready for adult life when they get loads of their shit taken off them for no apparent purpose.
Well, I did that with we. For context, we all socially distanced met up over the weekend, all of the people from the podcast and a few family members, because I wanted to take my kids over to the island basically. And I bought everybody ice creams, and I literally, all of my lot ice creams, I literally took a bite out of every single one of them. I was just like,
Good effort. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to tax it.
Yes, but I think, I don't know, they're too potatoey for me. They just taste, you can still taste the dirt on them. They're not fun. The only way they are edible for me is dunked in the KFC gravy, which is gross but amazing at the same time.
Oh, KFC gravy is the shit. I love that stuff. And I agree. I tend to get a meal from KFC that comes with a pot of gravy specifically to eat the chips with.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever eaten them without gravy. I don't think I ever would.
I don't think that's something that anyone should do, really. They're
no.
garbage.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it was about Burger King fries versus McDonald's fries, and KFC got lumbered in there. And because we branched out and gone on to KFC fries, I'm going to tell you you're all fucking wrong, because Five Guy fries are the best. They cook them in peanut oil, and they are just fucking incredible.
We've had this conversation before, haven't we, about the Five Guys fries? I've never tasted them.
Good. Oh, mate, come over to Southampton. We'll go for Five Guys, and then a Casa Brazil, and then we'll probably have heart attacks. We'll have a day of eating meat and then die.
It'll be worth it, though.
Yeah, honestly, the Five Guys fries, dude, apart from the fact they give you way too many, are just the shit. They're just so fucking good.
I'm a big fan of curly fries.
So am I.
I don't know
People
why.
give me shit for that.
Why?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, let's go curly fries.
Stop giving Sam shit for curly fries. They're good.
Yeah, thanks, Moochie.
That's right.
Yeah, the only problem is when you cook them yourself, though. You know the ones that look the best. They're like the proper concentric circles.
Yeah,
they're a little bit too tight together. That's always the one that isn't cooked when the rest of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is with curly fries, like you say, you either have to cremate half of them and get the rest perfectly cooked, or do them so they kind of look like they're cooked and then just suffer the odd raw potato every now and then.
Yeah, I feel like you need to have, when people do gold panning and they run rocks through a sieve, what you need is some sort of device to do that with curly fries. So just the casual bend ones come out 5 minutes before the actual ones with a proper curl in them, because then everything gets cooked.
Yeah. You just reminded me of something I was reading last night, and I fell asleep before reading it.
It was compelling then.
I really wanted to know, because the headline was, it was something about like software algorithm designed to differentiate between bear claws and croissants accidentally discovers cancer cells. And I was just like, there's so much in that sentence that I need clarification on. And then I fell asleep before I got the clarification. I'm going to have to try and find that article again now.
I want to know as well. That's dead interesting.
Because why do you need to, why were people getting confused between croissants and bear claws? I mean, I'm assuming that's a moderately fatal mistake. Just going for breakfast. Fuck. Yeah.
You don't know what a bear claw is, do you?
I don't know.
It's like a horn-shaped pastry that's got stuffing in it. But you are right that how people can't differentiate between a croissant and a bear claw is fucking mental.
That makes so much more sense now, because I was like, I honestly was just thinking like claws stuck on the end of a bear, and I was thinking like, how do people get these mixed up with croissants? These guys must be fucking morons. No, that
can I also take a stab in the dark? What's this in America?
Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, possibly would be, actually. I think it was on the IFL Science group.
Amazing. How have they discovered cancer off the back of it? Well, you don't know. You didn't finish the article, did you?
Yeah, that, like I say, you've just clarified more for me than I did by trying to read that article last night.
It's still a fucking cracking headline.
Yeah, isn't it good?
It's probably got nothing to do with it. One day, Billy Bob at the science lab was eating a croissant, and he realised he was eating a bear claw. And he pricked his finger, looked under the microphone and scope, and realised he had cancer.
Yeah, probably something like that. But there we go. I'll catch up with it at some point and work out why.
We'll get it and share it on the Facebook page when you find it.
Well, I will, mate. I will.
Did you see that thing I shared earlier today?
I haven't really looked at Facebook yet. It should be mentioned at this point we're not doing this at the normal time because of said beach trip yesterday. We're doing a daytime one today, so hence why I look like a sack of shit and very, very tired. And
It's very
Sam,
bright.
yes, Sam looks like he lives in a bright place as opposed to a dank little cave.
But very accurate descriptions. Incredibly dank normally. I'm getting moving soon, so hopefully it won't cause any turbulence. Hoping I might be able to set up some sort of green-related screen, Mushu. Join you on that backdrop. But I don't know where I'm moving yet. Yeah, exactly. I'm playing it all by ear. But yeah, so one other thing. Oh, pineapple on pizza, Mushu. Come on, go for it.
I'm adamantly against it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't like pineapples anyway. I don't have a good track record with them.
Whoa! What do you mean you haven't got a good track record with them? What does that mean? I mean, I haven't got a good track record with vodka because it makes me get a bit angry, and I've hit walls and I've been kicked out of clubs and pubs, and that's not a good track record.
I don't have a good track record with pineapples because they make my throat close up and hard to breathe.
That's not a good track record.
No, it's not the best. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is another thing that Rach does, bless her, because she does mixology and all this sort of stuff. So she's into all cocktails, and I used to be the guinea pig, and the amount of times she'd be like, "Oh, taste this," and I'd taste it. They've got pineapple in it. And she's like, "Yes, oh yeah, sorry." Like,
that's just her straws, mate. There's nothing wrong with the pineapple.
It's just an influx of heavy gingivitis.
yeah, exactly that. Well, you know why do you know the phrase "the penny lick"?
Yes, yeah. From the ice cream sellers.
It was. And do you know what it is?
What an actual penny lick, or
yeah,
it was a small round disc sort of thing that they'd put a blob of ice cream on, and for a penny you lick it off.
Yeah. It was a glass one. It was like a reusable cone.
Right.
Yeah. They got rid of those because they ended up giving people dysentery for what I can see as the exact same as rewashing straws.
Yeah, at least in her defense, she's the only one that uses them. It's not like she's got a long line of strangers all day just coming in using the straw and then rinsing it off and then passing it on to the next person. So
a penny straw, little line. Come and get your straws.
Come and get your straw. Yeah, no. So I've not got a great track record of pineapple. However, I don't think they belong on pizzas, but it doesn't really bother me when people do. Like my boy likes pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
I'm quite a big fan of weird shit on pizza. I don't know why. Not eating it potentially, but anchovies, they're a love or hate thing. I fucking love anchovies.
They came up actually, and I've not thought about anchovies in a really long time because I know they're one of the ingredients for a Caesar salad, but I just buy a plastic bag full of the shit and just shake it all up and eat it.
That's a posh Caesar salad if you get an anchovies in it, I think.
I think you might be right, but I have had anchovies on a pizza many, many, many years ago, but I've forgotten what the flavour is like. So I want, now that it's been mentioned, I really want to try it again. I can't eat pizza either.
Crazy salty. They're very, very salty, but the thing is, when mixed with all the cheese and the tomato and everything like that, it sort of dissipates the salt somewhat.
Yeah,
I quite like it.
Well, I think back in the early 90s, they were really popular, weren't they? I think the Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles over here, I think they like brought it to the forefront that everybody was like, oh yeah, pepperoni pizza, extra anchovies, or something like that. But yeah, until the other day, and you just mentioning it, I haven't thought of anchovies on pizzas in forever. I don't even know if you can get them.
Yeah, of course you can. They just come in tins, don't they?
Oh no! Sorry, I meant from like Domino's or Papa John's, or
I'm sure you could.
I might ask next time. It'd probably ruin an entire pizza, but it wouldn't be the first time I've ruined a pizza.
Get it on one of your kids' pizzas. That's what you do. This is what I do. If I want to experiment, why don't you try this? This sounds nice. Let's have a bit.
I don't do that. I mean, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I have this thing, and I've probably mentioned it before, but whenever I go to a restaurant, I try to order something I've not had before. Sometimes it works out really, really well and I get something really nice. Other times it's dog shit Whereas like a lot of people I know will always go for the burger or the lasagna, or like they play it safe and just have something they've had a million times before. Whereas I don't do that. I'll try and branch out unless I'm specifically like, oh, I really want a kebab. I'll have the kebab that I like.
That is our missing compadre, Jesus, all over.
Oh, what, the exact same thing every time?
Yeah, we went out to a restaurant. I can't remember what it's called, Blaze, I think, on Ryde Seafront. I'm quite happy giving them a shout out because it was fucking great food.
Nice.
Tex-Mex food, basically. Tex-Mex restaurant.
Oh,
You go out
lush.
there, you can get anything from like steaks to quesadillas to fucking tacos, things like that. The menu is incredible there. You know, there's loads of proper good Tex-Mex food, and then he just turns up. Like, I'll have a cheeseburger.
Can I have some chips with it, please?
Not even a fun not even a fun burger. Like, oh, can I have the Hawaiian volcano burger or something like that? It's cheeseburger. Everywhere you go, and you're like, why do you always get? You're like, well, because I know I like it.
Oh, fuck's sake! I really struggle to go to restaurants with people like that. I'm just like, boring bastards. My eldest sister, she's the same actually. I think it might have been Jacob. I mean, he's shown his face once or twice on here before. It might have been one of his birthdays. We went to some Italian restaurant in Shanklin, and I think I ordered sea bass in a prawn sauce or something.
Yeah.
Off the back of, I've never had it before. It was dog shit. It was like absolutely shit, and I ordered an extra garlic bread just in case it was dog shit, because I was like, oh, this could be borderline, this one. And I was like, thank fuck for the garlic bread. But like my sister's in this Italian restaurant, and she's like, I'll just have the lasagna, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, I know that Italian lasagnas are good, but they are not £15 better than the £2 microwave meal you can get from a co-op. They're just not. Or they're not better than the homemade one that you could make yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much along the same lines. I like experimenting. Like, if you're going to the trouble of paying someone else to cook you some food and cook it well, you might as well get something different that you can't cook. In my opinion,
right, Mushu.
In my opinion, with the exception of, I used to go to Zizzi's in Guildford quite a lot.
Zizzi's?
Yeah,
that's a shit Italian, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. But they do amazing calzone. And every time I go there, I will get the calzone con carne just because it's fucking brilliant and I love it.
What are the ingredients? I said calzone, by the way.
Calzone.
No, I'm not correcting you. I'm just going to say it differently to you the whole time. What's in the calzone con carne? What are the ingredients in that?
It's basically a pizza folded over, but inside you've got you've got obviously the mozzarella and the tomato and that, but then you've got meatballs, pancetta, just loads of different meats, pepperoni, sorry.
It's a bit of an animal.
Just all that sort of stuff. It's basically like a meat feast pizza, just folded in half.
I like them.
They do the chili oil. You go there and they've got the two big bottles of oil, one with garlic bulbs in and one with chili peppers in. Fucking drizzle that all over that shit.
I want both.
Like
ketchup and mustard on a hot dog. I want them both on there.
Flicking them like that. Fucking
your old favourite, one of them. Just spray it down with it. I do like a calzone. I think they're like Cornish pasty on acid, aren't they? They're everything that's good about a Cornish pasty, but with good fillings, as opposed to grey, generic grey
shit.
If you haven't been to the Cornish pasty shop I go to, it cost me £5.50, but fuck me, mate. They got hunks of steak in there, a size of my penis. They're big lumps of meat. They're very handsome sized chunks of tender beef.
The most unnecessary insert ever there. But thanks for the image.
I mean, that was more of a visual thing because it was so small. I was just like, I've got nothing to compare with.
No, I'm not a big fan of them. So I've lost track where we go.
Do pineapple pizzas.
Yeah. Do you know the weirdest thing I've had on a pizza?
Is it egg?
No, but I have had egg on pizza.
I have too. It was fine. Yeah. What was the weirdest thing? I love them. I've got a jar of them just over there.
I've never had one before, and I've never had one since. The only one I've ever had was on a pizza, and I'm not sure I can remember it.
The
And I don't
lush,
know if
mate.
that's because it was traumatic or because it was nice. But
I mean, you'd never want it. What was that animal? Its name's something a bit like Pagonia, but it's not Pagonia. You know that weird animal that's got real big scales on it? They're like really endangered, but I think the Chinese like grinding them up and sniffing them or something.
I do know. Yeah, I do know those creatures, but I can't remember what they're called.
Okay, well, there's a photo of one now, and here's a photo of an artichoke. I think in my head, I'm probably going to prove myself wrong in the later process of this, that they look the same.
Just going to put it out there now. Editing for you now is going to be a ball ache because you're going to have to
Yes,
find
fine.
2 pictures of one of those things that looks like an artichoke.
Well, and the best thing about it, I can't remember its name. So I'm going to have to be like, what's the artichoke-looking animal that's endangered? Because I don't want to fuck them. They're fine. They can stay.
Yeah, cool. That's good.
Yeah, well, they look the same, and artichokes are amazing, but I would never buy them fresh because they're the biggest ball egg ever. You've got to peel off like 9,000 of these scaly, leaves, I suppose, because they're a plant, not an animal. You've got to peel all of them off, and then you just get left with a Cornish pasty-sized lump of vegetable. Yeah, but they are incredible. But you can also buy them in a jar that, ready done. Oh, I'm going to have some of them in a minute.
That's more my style.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't imagine doing them fresh. But no, that sounds like you went to a super fancy Italian restaurant to get that. Was it on like a thin crust with like not enough cheese?
Yeah, you know exactly the kind of pizza where it's the edges are like I don't know, they're just solid almost because the crust's so thin. It's just like bread. It's like it's surrounded in breadstick.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a big fan of that. I think really, I think overrated. Oh no, sorry, Italian food is just overrated.
Yeah,
I like it, but I don't see paying 20 quid for something I could do at home. Not quite as well, but not badly. Is worth going to. Yeah.
No. But then saying that, I love steaks, and you can do steaks at home, can't you?
Exactly. I could do a steak. I prefer doing it at home because if I fuck it up, I don't get irate with anyone but myself. I'm like, shucks, that was a little bit overdone. Whereas when I go to, yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's fine.
It's just reminded me of a conversation I had with our very own Rambo yesterday.
Yeah.
Talking about going to a steak restaurant.
Oh God.
And he ordered a minute steak, right? And we know what a minute steak is. Yeah, it's cooked, literally just seared for a minute.
Blue.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He didn't realize it was called a minute steak. He thought it was called a minute steak. Right? So he's ordered the minute steak. And I'm sorry, Zach. I'm sorry for doing this to you, bro. He's ordered the minute steak. It's come out, and then he's kicked off because it's raw. It's like, any chance to get this fucking cooked? I love
my God.
I love that guy.
I saw him this morning. I picked him up today.
Of course you did.
Picked him up from the boat and took him to his appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. It's like ordering a gazpacho soup and asking for it hot from Red Dwarf, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Rimmer's last regret is going to be Zach's, isn't it? It's like, no, it was minute, not minute, or the other way around. Sounds good though. I like rare, but I just like it hot. That's my problem. There's nothing worse than when you order it like blue or rare, and it comes out and it's cold, and be like, you could at least warm the fucking thing up first. You always know if you've got a rare steak and it's not hot, they've kept those in a fucking fridge as opposed to cooking them at room temperature. I'm just like, you're a lazy sod, chef, whatever your fucking name is. Yep. But yeah, dickheads. Yeah, unbelievable. So, were there any more food ones? Oh, my popular opinion that Papa John's pizza dipping sauce is fucking disgusting. You're all wrong. It's gross. When you've got Domino's and you've got Papa John's.
I used to have a Papa John's near me when I lived in Plymouth, and I can't, if I'm being honest, I can't remember the sauce that well, but I do remember not being that fussed about it.
Yeah. Whereas Domino's, if I say Domino's, or
give me an extra big tub of that white gold. I want it.
it is.
It's. I'll just drink it if I could.
I believe that a standard tub of that has got 400 calories in, Mushu. That's quite a lot. And there's the big tubs now. I've got a big tub in my freezer, actually, in my fridge. Yeah, yeah. I had pizza with my friends a few weeks ago, and they ordered way too much sauce.
But then that's because
so good.
Nothing that's good for you tastes nice.
No,
not
at all.
If it tastes nice, it's bad for you. If it tastes god awful, it's probably good for you. That's my unpopular opinion, and I'm fucking sticking by that.
Yeah, I think as a whole, you're probably right. There's always going to be one or two that slip through the net, but most of the time, the really bad stuff is what tastes the best, and that's why people are so fat.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, Papa John's, I think, do far superior pizzas than Domino's, but that sauce is fucking gross. And the weirdest thing is, I genuinely despise it. I think it's fucking horrible. But I've had this pizza with my friends. I do like a come dine with me.
Yeah,
you know about that.
Yeah.
We've had it with them before, and they all get so excited by it. And I'm like, you have tasted this, right? It's horrible. It's just like, I would say it's like buttery garlic, which is amazing, and it's probably the greatest thing ever, but it's not, because I would like that. I don't know what it is about it, but it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I like everything. I mean,
I'm happy to go along with you there, Sam.
they're all wrong.
Comfortable jumping in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. And the last food one was coffee.
Iced or
Wasn't
hot?
it?
Iced or hot?
Well, I started this show drinking a hot coffee, and I've literally just finished a carton of ice cold coffee. So I'm not the best person to say for this. I mean, if I'm cold, I don't want a cold one.
Yeah,
if I'm hot, I don't want a hot one.
I guess it depends on things like that. I'm not a big fan of cold coffee, to be fair.
Even iced coffees.
Yeah, even iced coffees. I've never been really fond of that. Coffee's a taste that should be hot, as far as I'm concerned.
What about tiramisu?
Not a
you
massive
don't like
fan.
That, then, no?
Not a massive
fair
fan,
enough.
No. No, I'm sticking with hot coffee. Thanks. You know, if I want a coffee, I want it hot because I want it to wake me up. Generally.
Oh, I don't know. I like a nice coffee. It feels like a grown-up milkshake.
Yeah,
because I like the taste.
Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't fit for me.
Really?
No. How about iced tea? Do you like iced tea at all?
I fucking love iced tea. Or, well, I loved it until, again, I saw how much sugar was in it. I was like, Jesus, no wonder I like this.
Yeah.
More than a can of Coke in it. Just quaffing it back.
Can't stand the stuff.
That might come back to where I was living in America as a kid.
Yeah, possibly.
It was the southern states, and they all love their sweet tea.
Can I clarify something here? You might be able to know. American lemonade isn't fizzy.
No, it's lemons, water, and sugar. Why?
Because no, that's fine. I heard it wasn't fizzy, and I was like, who would drink that? Surely it's just lemon juice then, or lemon squash.
Well, it's not squash, is it? No, it's not. But I come to think of it, I don't recall ever having lemonade, like our lemonade. Oh, I had Sprite. That's lemonade, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yes, but I remember having Sprite and 7-Up. But I was genuinely like, I can't remember actually having just a can of lemonade when I was out there. But I was more obsessed with like the grape soda and root beer and all the different things. Stuff I hadn't had before. Yeah, I was like, I don't want fucking lemonade. I had enough of that growing up. Smart Price bottles that used to cost 9p and taste like flowers. I hated that stuff.
Yeah.
Did your parents do that at like Christmas? And be like, we bought you some pop, young Andrew. And you walk into the kitchen all excited with your glass all ready, and you're like, oh, it's Smart Price Coke. I'm like 1% fizz, 0% flavour.
You see, my mum used to buy she used to buy big packs of Coke. And the branded stuff as well, which was like, very good.
Fancy.
However, she'd buy the gold cans because they're
caffeine free.
caffeine, sugar free, and all of that. It's just like,
Oh, that's the shittest, isn't it?
oh, it's like
Yeah.
someone's drunk loads of normal Coke and then pissed in a can, fizzed it up, and given it to you. It's the worst thing ever. It's got no
Just
flavour,
yeah.
nothing.
Also, what's the point in caffeine free? I mean,
I
it's
know.
pretty obvious. If you're going to drink something that's caffeinated, like a cup of tea, well, not so much a cup of tea, that bottle of Mysterious Blue. What is that? Is that Fanta?
It is. It's their
I haven't.
mysterious flavour.
I've got a mysterious bottle of that in my fridge door. What does it taste like?
I don't know. I'm not very good with flavours.
After the break, I'm going to get my mysterious bottle out and I'm going to tell you what it tastes like, or try to anyway.
I can barely wait. I'll be right here on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. This is like thrilling.
No, what do you think it tastes like? It's got to have something, because it doesn't have a flavour written on it, does it?
No. To me, it kind of tastes like bubble gum a bit, but I think that's because it's blue. I think that's tricking my head into it.
Yeah.
Possibly lemony. There's a lemony tint to it.
Okay. I mean, I bought it because the kids were like, "Oh, can we try this? It doesn't have a flavour on it, but it's blue." And I bought it and I was like, "Yeah." And then I realised it's like, I'm not giving you blue fizzy drink. You got to fuck right off. I have to deal with the aftermath of that.
Well, my kids, my boy picked it up and he's like, "Oh, look, you got to guess the flavour." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's quite good." And he's like, "I'll just read the ingredients." And then just read the ingredients. I'm like, that's fair enough. Which I didn't do, actually. He's a lot cleverer than me. You see, natural flavourings, that's how they've got around that.
Bastards. Oh, it's hidden fruit, Mushy. That's why you're liking it.
I love a bit of hidden fruit. It's the only way I can stay healthy.
Stay healthy, yeah, from a bottle of Fanta.
Right, unpopular opinion, I'm not healthy. No, that's probably a popular opinion, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fairly accurate opinion, I reckon. Blue liquid, mystery flavour. That's horrible.
Horrible flavour. There we go. We've solved the mystery. They've bottled horrible and marketed it.
No, I'm with you. I can't pick out any kind of flavour on that. It's like blue lemonade, blue cheap lemonade at that. Sugar-free cheap lemonade. What more?
I guess the closest I could get is, you know, when you go on school trips or something like that, they just hand out Panda Pops.
Yeah,
and you get the weird
drinks.
Panda Pop. Yeah, or something like that, and it just tastes of just like sugar and some kind of flavour. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
It smells a bit bubblegummy, but sorry, this is great for audio. I'm literally sat here drinking from a glass. Giving him ice. There you go. Look.
A bit of ASMR, which I know you love.
God, don't. I don't mind ASMR. I just don't like mukbangs. I don't like seeing people eating.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's fair. It's horrible. But yeah, there's certain AMSLs I like. I quite like the camping ones where people go and it's basically an hour-long video of them sitting by a fire.
Yeah, that's quite pleasant.
I find that very, very relaxing. Yeah, that, incidentally, is fucking grim. I'll probably still drink it because it's wet and cold. But yeah, it tastes of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to second that.
Yeah, flavour profile blue. Yeah, just awful.
Oh, just on a quick side note, have you seen? There's a woman on Twitter that has that synesthesia. Is it
synesthesia?
Yeah, is that the one where you can taste flavors? You can taste words and things like that, and
synesthesia. You can like smell or hear colors, or maybe taste. I don't know if you could taste colors.
Yeah,
I think it might be that.
She tastes names. She gets a taste in her mouth when she hears names.
Really?
Yeah, and she's offered to. She does a thing on her Twitter account where you send her your name and she'll tell you what it tastes of, basically, and it's really, really specifically weird stuff. Like,
really?
oh, it tastes like a button on a doll that's been left in water and stuff like this.
I've got so many questions, Misha. How does she know what a button that's been soaked in a bottle? You know, it's for things to be able to.
Yeah, you have to have a point of reference, surely.
Yeah, so has she tasted everything? She like Randy from My Name Is Earl, who's like,
well, I don't know how the whole thing works. I mean,
oh,
it might just be it pops an image into her head when like she gets a taste in her mouth and an image forms in her head. I don't know how it works, to be honest, but it is quite funny seeing some of the things that people put up because they've got like lovely names and they're like, oh, what about this? It's like, yeah, it tastes like old mackerel or something like that.
well, I mean,
Oh.
I won't lie. I have had like a bitter taste in my mouth before, but I've heard people's names. But it's usually in reference to like old managers or people I dislike. I'm like,
Katie Hopkins.
So I can go there. She's a cunt. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like her at all. Oh, yeah, go on then.
Let's have another one then. What we got?
We've got done that. Holidays. The one that led it all off, Mushu.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of mine, isn't it? Cold
It
holidays
is.
far supersede hot holidays.
Okay, so I think it really depends on what you're going to want to do, doesn't it? If you want to go to a water park or get a tan, you don't want to go to Alaska, really.
No, but it really annoys me when people go on holiday specifically to get a tan. The sun it's quite an open commodity. It's something you can find in most places in some form.
Yeah,
like we
that's
live in a
fair.
country where I got sunburnt yesterday in precisely 67 seconds of sunlight.
I
And
can't believe you remember that exact number.
I know it made me chuckle. That's why. But yeah, you can see I'm slightly rosy. And that was on a cloudy day on the beach, and I still managed to get sunburnt. You can get suntan anywhere. You could do it in your garden. Like if I'm going to spend a load of money to go somewhere I've never been before, I want to look around the place. I want to see it. I want to enjoy it. I want to drink in the culture. I want to try the food. I want to live the lifestyle a little bit. I want to see the architecture and shit like that. That's what a holiday is to me. It's like going somewhere you've not been before and doing different stuff.
Okay.
And if it's hot, I can't do any of that because I'm just a sweaty mess and I shut down in the sun. I burn too easily. So I just got to walk around stinking of sun cream, being that pasty foreigner who looks even pastier because of the fact of million sun cream that I'm doused in. And I'm still sweaty and disgusting. And all I want to do is just go back to the hotel room or wherever I'm staying and sit in an air conditioned room. And it's just not a holiday for me.
Okay. Right. I have things to say.
Say them, Sam. Say them.
Right. I'm going to jump straight in on a tangent here that is just literally come to my mind off the back of what you've just said there.
Yeah.
So we have all evolved basically from the gene pool in Africa. Is that fair to say? Have you heard this before, that man started in Africa and we spread out? And that's why there's more genetic diversity in like a small tribe in Africa than there is in, say, the city of London.
Yeah.
Because, they're the original people, which to me implies that we were all originally black, right?
To a certain degree. I mean, obviously, Africa is known as the cradle of life. Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll go
I mean, a
really,
really, really long time ago. I'm not talking, evolution takes a long time. Yeah. Okay, so if we all evolved from people who were from a really hot country where there's lots of sun, the cradle of life, if you will.
Yep.
Does that mean gingers, and I'm specifically talking about your 67 seconds of sunlight burning, are the devolution of mankind?
Possibly. I mean,
and I don't say this is a negative thing because I'm a massive fan of ginger people. In fact, Rambo yesterday said, "I've got a ginger car," which is accurate. And yeah, a massive fan of ginger hair. Love it. I think it's absolutely wonderful. But I've always put that down to being colourblind, that I don't see it the same as other people. Like, I'd love to know how you see yourself. Do you look at yourself and think, oh, I look like a stink of piss? Or do you, you know?
I mean, I have to point out, I'm not ginger. I've just got a slightly gingery beard.
Wow, I mean,
if
you
I were to
burn
grow
like
my
a
hair,
ginger.
it would be a fecking miracle, but it would be dark brown.
Or grey.
Yeah, probably grey now. Yeah,
grey.
But then we us specifically as being Caucasian, come we herald from the Caucasus Mountains, don't we?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a tribe of very, very pale-skinned people that lived in the Caucasus Mountains. So they're obviously a genetic sort of fluke or something, which has evolved us for life in mountains and cold, snowy areas and stuff like that.
I didn't know this. You're dropping knowledge.
That's why we're called Caucasians, because we come from the Caucasus Mountains. So I would say, as white people, I mean, I don't want to get into race, but as white people, generally, we're better suited to the colder climates.
100%. I'm way better in the cold than I am in the heat. I mean, I basically live outside. So
yeah, which is exactly my reasoning behind liking cold holidays. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I went to Iceland.
Whoa. What? The supermarket?
No,
that's a treat in itself.
No, the country.
Don't be silly. You can't have gone there, Mushi. You definitely have mentioned it before now.
I did, honestly. But it's the best holiday I've ever been on. Because I got to do so much, and I can wrap up warm. I can't wrap down cold. If
wrap down cold.
I don't know what the phrase is. But
wouldn't it be unwrap cold if you go for specifically the opposite of wrap up warm, which is what I think you're doing.
But my point is, I could go to.
God, I'm hot. I need to wrap down my cold.
I need to wrap down cold. Cool. No, I think if I went to if I went to Barbados, say, or Jamaica, or somewhere like that, and I go outside in my pants, right, or naked, say, that is my core temp. That is the temperature. I can't get below that temperature.
Yeah.
But if I go out in Iceland, I can put as many clothes on as I want, and I can get myself nice and toasty, and I can still do shit. It just, I don't know. It takes away a lot of options for me, hot countries.
Oh, mate, I completely agree. But I work outside, so I don't suffer from your affliction. I don't sunburn anymore. I mean, the bits that have never been touched by the sunlight, which is from like my knees to my chest, would probably incinerate in seconds. But my arms, my legs, my face, they don't burn. They just go, what my friends have affectionately said, Turkish. And over the summer months, I go super brown. So I can handle the heat, but I'm a big sweaty mess. I went to Turkey once. That was quite warm. And yeah, I get it. It's just like you go away on a holiday to a hot country, and I feel like I have to take, if I'm going for 7 days, I feel like I've got to take like 40 pairs of boxers and 40 t-shirts, because I've got to change every 5 hours, because otherwise I'm just like, gritty again.
I mean, nobody wants that, do they? Nobody wants to be changing every fucking... Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not a supermodel. I don't want like, quick clothes change.
Wait,
exit behind a curtain.
Not a supermodel?
Well, I mean,
oh my god.
No, I'm not.
Good lord.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mishi. I think I would have. I don't want to. I like the idea of going on like super cold holidays. I really want to go to Alaska. I'd really like to go to Greenland. I'd quite like to go to Iceland, because you always talk about it. So it's like it's made it on my list of shit I want to do.
I've always wanted to go to Russia.
I don't want to go to Russia.
I don't know why. I like the industrial sort of. I don't know. I just like the sort of. I just like the look of it. I'd like up north, these these crazy little sort of villages, like right on the cusp of the Arctic Circle and stuff like that. I'd love to go up there and see that.
I'd quite like to do the Road of Bones. That's like few thousand miles. I like the idea of doing a road trip along that. That would be an adventure. I mean, I don't know how much of an adventure it would truly be, because it's a lot of fucking driving and avoiding getting carjacked, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, generally, and it's not a great road either. I don't think it's not the best condition.
No, it's not. But it's. I've recently discovered something. You know, the YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you heard of overlanding?
No.
Oh my god, it looks like the holiday I genuinely want to do, because hot or cold don't really fucking matter, because you're in a car and you can put the air conditioning on. So you get these off-roady cars,
Yeah.
or it seems to be more that these people are buying normal cars and then outfitting them for off-road trips. And
Right.
it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So they intricately plan these 500-600 mile journeys that go on all of these terrible roads and across deserts and through like old logging roads through like the wilderness and stuff. And it's just about traveling there. So it will take a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, whatever.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I that looks super enjoyable. But that's how I imagined the trip along the road of bones would be. I mean, I watched a lot of those shows, like The Long Way Down, The Long Way Up.
The Long Way Round was amazing. It was such a good,
I don't like his mate though. Is it Charlie Boardman?
Charlie Borum or something like that. Yeah,
he is a bore though. That's a problem with him. It's like he tried to do his own version of that show, but without Ewan McGregor in it. I was like, I don't really care about you, mate. You're a bit of a dullard.
Yeah.
There's another one as well. It's not got Ewan McGregor in, but I really enjoyed the show. But there's a certain aspect of it that I really enjoyed because I hated the main guy, and it was called Wreck, as in WRECK, Wreck Trek. He did 2 shows. He did one where they just bought these shit cars in England and then drove to like Goa or something.
Right.
So in like Renault Clios, and they're a whole squad of people. But the main guy is someone called Lovey, who is, for lack of a better word, a total cunt. He's just the worst aspects of an American that you can imagine is him. Every single show he's done, he always ends up picking on one person, part of his crew, as just like the central figure to hate. He's done 2 shows. He did this other one about, I can't remember, it's a shitty old plastic German car that came out just after the war when metal was a little bit harder to come by.
Right.
These terrible cars. They got 3 of them. They're like Trebeckians. I don't know. We need Jesus here to be able to find that out.
Yeah.
And it happened in the first one. It happened in the second one. He always just ends up hating on someone and then just slowly trying to turn everybody against these people. But you watch it and you're like, guy ain't done nothing fucking wrong. It's like the first one that he had. Yeah, he was hating on this English guy. They're like, because his car blew up. It blew up in France, and they had to buy a new car. And they just like, because they'd sprayed them. And it's like, it's called the Wreck Trek. You bought cars for 500 quid, and this car blew up. How are you fucking surprised? And then they just bought like another Renault Clio and swapped the bits out because it was the same brand of car, and it was absolutely fine. It's like, he's not driven it badly. You're in convoy. Once you're in 5th, you're all in fucking 5th. It's not like he's driving in first. But yeah, it's the same thing. But it's a wicked concept of a show. But the main presenter, or the guy who, he doesn't finance it, he seems to get like rich travelers to come along the way. That like their parents are paying for everything. And they're like, "Oh, Daddy, can I go on this trip with these random guys?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Here's 10 grand." They're like, "Ding, ding, ding." It's happened in both of them. But yeah, it's a quality concept of a show. It's fairly well executed, but the main presenter is really hateable. It's really, really hateable. But yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather a colder holiday. The idea of sitting on a beach for
and also sand. I can't remember who it was. Was it Kelly made a very good point about sand getting everywhere?
Oh yeah, it was getting in places it shouldn't get.
It's like the personal discomfort aside, we don't need to go down that route because I think we all know what we're talking about there. Food, like on the beach, you can have
sandy sandwich.
But it can be a brand new, pristine, sealed pack from the supermarket or something like that. You can open it dead carefully with completely clean hands, having just washed your hands. You bite it, you've got sand in your mouth. It's disgusting. Beaches are just, I don't know. They're just, a necessary transition between the land and the sea to me. They're not somewhere to hang around, really. They're like transit hubs.
We were on the least sandy beach in the world yesterday, and my car is still filled with sand.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck that happened, but I looked at it this morning. I was just like, you are taking the piss.
Yeah, it was a stony beach. Where's the sand come from?
I know, right? And also, I've got to raise this. What the fuck has happened to that beach? It used to be covered in sea glass. I mean, as a kid, you could just walk along and it was just like 90% smooth bits of glass. And we're looking for it yesterday. That's the reason we went to that shitty beach. My daughter wanted to find some sea glass. And we must have found like 4 specks. And I think every artist in the whole of Ventnor, which is the whole of Ventnor, has gone down, combed that entire beach. And it was like, unbelievably clean. It was just, there was nothing there. It was just pebbles.
Yeah, it was very strange. Not even good pebbles either. They were just all the boring ones left. All the decent, exciting ones have been taken.
Yeah, all the stones that you could possibly skim across the water, they've already been skimmed. They're in the fucking ocean. It was just crap pebbles. It was not impressed.
If you had a scuba diving kit, you could go out like 20 feet off from the shore, from the tide line, and you'd just find a big. There must be stacks of skimmable pebbles down there, just where so many people skim them.
Well, you know, have you ever been in the water on Ventnor Beach?
No.
Okay, well, there's a big drop off. So just where the tide goes out, it goes. It's quite a steep beach anyway, but it goes like this, and it just drops by like 6 or 10 feet. All of a sudden, it's mental. I've never been in another beach on the island that drops off quite like that, and I'd forgotten about it until I saw Freddie getting washed out to sea. I better run in and grab him then, shall I?
Are we going to talk about the hesitation or not?
Well, you've got that's sort of fine. So my kids are clearly mainlanders and mildly I'm a bit embarrassed by the performance in the ocean, or the fact they were both fully dressed, and both the second they went into the sea, a wave came in and it swept them off their fucking feet. And I'm all for learning whilst you go. Oh shit, the waves are strong. I better brace myself a little bit. But Freddie got knocked over, and I'm stood there watching him get knocked over, and then he doesn't get back up, and I'm there like, oh, should I get him? Should I? And just sort of stood there just watching, and then another wave comes and sort of pushes him, and it starts pulling him like, oh yeah, I better fucking go there.
I think
running into the fucking sea.
When that second wave started pulling him backwards, and he was still just sat there, just sliding backwards along the beach,
crying.
Yeah,
time to get back out there.
No, don't get me wrong, mate, but your kids attacked the sea with dog-like enthusiasm. And I don't mean that as an insult. I think it was brilliant the way they've just both gone hurtling down there, fully clothed. Straight
into it. Absolutely, it's so amazing. Funny. Honestly, they creased me up. But Freddie taking a piss in the sea, give a shit. Just turn around. I've got another story about this story, well off topic. But so, for context, we're on the beach, like Mushi's just sat down with everybody, and I'm stood there watching the kids, and I turn around, I'm talking to other people that are there, and one of them's like, why has Freddie's got his trousers down? And I turn around, and he's literally pants around his ankles, stood in the sea, just stood there pissing, just casually out of me. Absolutely kills me. But I'm like, fuck it, it's the sea, doesn't matter. And then I take him back on the boat, and my boat got cancelled, so it was really late. And he's like, I need a wee. And I was like, oh, come on then, right, let's go. There's no cubicles, is there? And they've only got grown-up urinals.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I'm dying. I had my mask on, I'm absolutely dying. So, doesn't give a shit. Trousers, straight round his ankles. Pants, straight round his ankles. Still can't reach. He's on his tippy toes pissing. There's a guy stood right next to him pissing, and you could tell that it's really put him off because he was there for fucking ages. I'm just dying. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, friend. I've got tears streaming down my face, and he's just like, what's funny? It's like, nothing. You're doing a grand old job. Keep going. He's like, it's a bit high for me. I've got to go on my tippy toes. So I was like, I can see that, Freddie. His bare white ass just out in the middle of the fucking toilets.
No, we had a discussion about this yesterday, and I think it was me and Rambo were saying that we want to bring back, as adults, doing that. Pants and trousers around your ankles when you're at the urinal. Can you imagine Weatherspoons, how funny it would be if you just walked in, like busy toilet, just Straight down, just having a wee, like a boy, like a little
like
boy.
a toddler,
Yeah.
peeing like a toddler.
I think it'd be great.
I've experienced that, mate. I went out in Newport about 3 or 4 years ago. What's the pub in Newport that used to be a cinema way back in the day?
Was it the Hog's Head now, is it?
Yeah, the Hog's Head, that's the one.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was. I don't know if it still is. I mean, if it is anything open anymore. And yeah, I walk in there's this Asian chap, and literally pants, trousers down by his ankle. And I'm like, I'm sorry, have I just stepped into year 2 of primary school? And he's like, nah, man, you drop them down to your ankles and then you don't get splashback all over your trousers. And I was like, I don't get splashback on my trousers because I'm a grown up and I know how to aim my piss, mate. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah. I mean, that's the secret, isn't it? The poor toilet guys. You're no Davidoff, no have it off, guys.
Yeah, no spray, no lay. Yeah.
Yeah, they just have to look at his bare ass wherever he goes. I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I think more people.
I think it's very funny, and I reckon in a pub we could definitely convince Rambo to piss like that.
Oh, for sure.
At worst, it's going to cost £1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that boy is funny. But yeah, that did crease me up. Him pissing in the fucking ocean.
It was great. It was particularly funny because I was having a about how nobody knows how to act outside of lockdown anymore, and everyone's just forgotten common decency. And then we've looked down and see him just pissing in the sea. And then it was even more funny when your little girl fell over and got up and said like, "Oh, I've got water in my mouth. And Freddie's just pissed in it." Oh my god!
Oh, it's good, isn't it? I mean, it was just worth taking them there just for that. But...
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Holy fuck! Did you have to drive up that hill?
Yeah, it's a steep one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Wallage, I was not expecting that. It's just like, oh, it's quite the hill. And you're like, oh no, it's fucking vertical. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Oh, yeah, absolutely crazy that fucking was. But yeah, it was a nice afternoon.
There you go. Anyway,
let's move back on the subject. Just fucking reminiscing about yesterday. I think we need to tackle Tracy's comment, don't we? I'm just trying to load it up now because.
Yeah, I mean, it was largely along the lines of fictional males are far superior to actual real life physical males.
I think you are right. Fictional males are literally, that's exactly what it says, are far superior to men in real life. And if you don't agree, you're just reading the wrong damn books. I felt like that felt like a mild little bit of a cop out of that last little bit. And I didn't get into it on Facebook because she usually gives us something half decent to talk about, that girl.
Yeah, she certainly does.
But I would just like to point out 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. Okay. Yes, far superior, but really, a billionaire just out of the blue picks up somebody in their local B&Q and then takes them to a little fucking playroom for a bit of spanky fun.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point there. I get where she's coming from with fictional males are far superior to most males. But the thing is, there are people out there in the world, real life existing people that will fit the profile of these fictional males in a lot of sort of cases. But they've found their person, it's just you've not met them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of, obviously there's the physical side of things, which I would hope that I am physically better than a fictional male in terms of.
Definitely not.
As I was saying it, I was like, maybe I'm not. maybe I shouldn't be opening this can of worms.
Yeah, you're not.
But no, I get what she's saying. But I think it does depend on, firstly, the era the book was written in. Secondly, the setting of the book. Like most horror books. Sorry, if you read a lot of James Herbert and stuff like that, the main characters are generally kind of shitbags in a way, or at the very least, normal human beings. They're not.
Yeah.
It tends to be the men that are written about by women that tend to be sort of vastly superior to
She did
us.
mention that, actually. She said, a word I don't understand, so I'm not going to say it. I think female characters have got better in recent years. Sadly, for so long, female representation was limited to the Mary Sues and or patriarchal oppressed females. This leads me to another unpopular opinion. I don't think male authors can write female characters without ridiculous stereotype and or patriarchy. And Sam, I agree, it is dangerous. Because that was my comment. Was like, "Ooh, it's a dangerous subject."
Yeah.
But my main thought on this matter, though, is that it's fiction. Of course, they're going to be better than they are in real life, because in your books, you're not going to say, "Oh, my man disappeared to the toilet for 10 minutes to take a massive, great shit." But in reality, I know he was just playing on Facebook. I mean,
yeah. I mean, and take into account books like Mein Kampf. You know,
I've never read it.
I hear the male protagonist in that is probably not your perfect example of a man. You know,
a little bit biased towards a certain race, wasn't he?
yeah. You know, he certainly had his downfalls. Let's put it that way. It depends largely on perspective, I think, and you get if you get sort of these sort of the more feminist style writing authors, then they're gonna sort of play up women a bit more and downplay the men slightly. I mean, it's entirely dependent on your author's perspective on things, isn't it?
Okay. Question for you, Mushi. Have you ever read a book where in it a lady has had a sulk for 3 days straight for no real reason?
No.
Okay.
Not that I can think.
I'm just wondering, because I find my favourite books for me are the books that I can relate to the main character. Now, that's not Harry Potter. I just like that series of books because it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that recent series that I've gone on about repeatedly, the Undead series.
Yep.
I find that so brilliant because there's a character for everybody to relate to or aspire to be, and that is absolutely amazing. None of them are that ridiculous. They're a little bit normal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple in there who clearly aren't. But it covers all different walks of life. There's arseholes, there's amazing people. It feels like a real fair reflection of British society specifically because it's set in Hampshire. It's that for me, that was one of the major selling points for that series of books. I know you didn't get on with it because there's spelling errors and grammatical errors here, there, and everywhere. But if you listen to the audiobooks of it, they're perfect. All of that is ironed out by the reader.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if there's a double comma here and there. But yeah, I
think the best, one of my favourite sort of depictions of like men and women, and it's not really that fair to do it, but it's in the Terry Pratchett books, in the Discworld novels. There's a couple in that. One of them is called Corporal Carrot. He's a corporal in the City Watch, which are like their police force, and he's just like your archetypal sort of man, like your normal working class man. He's a little bit dumb sometimes. He's just solid. He goes to work. He does things by the book. Blah blah blah. There's nothing particularly that special about him. And then you've got his partner, Angua, I think her name is. Who I mean, it just so happens she's a werewolf, but she proper drops out at him, and like the way their relationship works, like he'll say something completely innocent, and she'll, or in his mind, completely innocent, and obviously it upsets her, and she won't tell him what he said, and he's like, well, why is she in a funny mood with me? And she'll just be like, well, if you can't fucking work that out, then you're a prick, sort of thing. And it's just such a nice natural back and forth between them. There's no sort of unnecessary expectations or anything. I don't know, it just strikes me as being quite a natural, and that's what appeals to me in books in terms of like women and men characters. It's just normality. I don't want a woman who's like, you know, super sexy, fucking, you know, I don't need descriptions of her breasts and like her ass and stuff like that. I just want to know that she's normal, decent sort of person. It's more about the sort of mindset of the character for me than anything else. But
I just want to know if they can make a decent sandwich, Mushy.
well, they never put that in books, do they?
No, they don't.
No.
But yeah, have you ever read? I call it lady porn, but like erotic fiction. You ever read any of that?
Not really. No.
No, because that's where my mind went when I was reading that comment. I was just like, "Oh, Sir Cadnan and his throbbing member. Is that what we're talking about?" Yeah, I have read some of that. It doesn't really do it for me. I remember I was working with this lady from Africa, quiet as a mouse she was, when I was working at McDonald's, and she was bullied horribly by the local people. They're like genuinely horrible. She didn't fucking say anything about it. It was horrible. Some horrible, nasty kids pissed on the floor when she was on lobby in front of her for her to clean up, and she didn't say anything about it for like a month and a half. And I was like, "You what?" It's like, you've got an entire crew here who will back you up. Somebody does that, they're getting fucking kicked out. Yeah. There's no question about it. Probably made to fucking mop it before getting kicked out. Anyway, she was reading a book, and I was just like, "Oh, what are you reading?" There weren't very many readers when I was working there, if I'm honest. And she's like, "Oh, it's a religious book." And then she was reading it the next day, and I looked over her shoulder, and I was like, "That's not a religious book," and she smirked. Yeah, she finished reading it, and then when she finished it a few days later, she just came up to me and was like, "Oh, here's my book that I was reading." And I read it. It was filth. It was
absolute filth. Smart.
Yeah, total and utter filth. But yeah, not overly weird. I don't know many men who are like that. It was just
No.
I think that's the point, though, isn't it? With fantasy, is you don't want to read. I mean, if you want to read autobiographies, read autobiographies. But if you're reading fiction, you want a certain element of escapism and fantasy, don't you? Well, I do. I mean, Christ alive, who'd want to read about a fucking postman who does a podcast and a bit of editing, and that's his life? That'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it?
God, yeah. Welcome to my life, like.
Yeah.
A
just
recluse
call it life.
that hates going outside in case he gets sunburnt.
It's got a 67-second window before it crisps up. It's like a vampire.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Accurate.
You want to move to Forks. Or, but yeah, everybody's favourite pedo, Edward Cullen from the Twilight series. He's 107 years old or whatever, and he gets with a 17-year-old. And like, I remember having this conversation with my mum, and she's like, "Oh, he's so wonderful. He's so romantic. And oh, he just loves her so much." I was like, "He's a nonce, man." Yeah. He's like 90 years older than this girl. And he's, yeah.
I mean, she's no better though. Like, she's struggling. She's got this real inner turmoil going on between a dead guy and a fucking animal. So she's like tossing up between necrophilia and bestiality. It's
a 15-year-old animal at that. She's even going for a child herself.
She's a nonce bestiality-ist. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you cut down any characters and you start breaking them down, they're gonna be seriously flawed somewhere, aren't they? Because they're a product of an imagination, but.
Yes, they are. I mean, did you ever read those books? Did you read the Twilight series?
No. I've not read the books or seen the films. I think we're beyond that now, Sam. You're beyond saving that.
Yeah, I did read them, but you can't know what people are talking about, haven't you? Can't join in a book conversation if you haven't read the book.
But like we both said, I think this is a rabbit hole of epic proportions. The whole book.
Yeah,
I would love to do a show specifically about books, and I think we plan to at some point anyway. So we'll definitely look into this a lot more.
Yeah. It's a hard one to just talk about a little bit because like my mind's off for racing already about a million other things I want to say. So yeah, we should deviate away from the book aspect. And we'll do that another time, which I'm sure people will love hearing my opinions on Twilight, Harry Potter, and the Undead series. Other books are available. I'm going to read one of Tracy's books before we do that one. Is it Tracy? Yeah, it is Tracy.
Yeah, it's Tracy. Yeah.
I know she's an author.
Like to. Yeah.
Yeah, because she she takes the time to listen to the podcast.
So.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe we should do that. We should read one of hers and then dissect it on the podcast live.
Yeah. Throw our uneducated opinions at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I bet we are definitely her target audience.
Almost for sure, mate. I can't imagine her thinking about anyone else when she was writing them. To be fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Didn't even know me. Right. I think. Oh, television. Television. A lot of popular opinions. I saw a hateful post up there by Amy saying that she thinks the Umbrella Academy is grossly underrated.
Overrated.
Overrated. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I thought it was meh. I watched 4 or 5 episodes of it and then just lost interest, and I haven't gone back to it since then.
What is wrong with you?
I don't like the casting. That big guy, I've never really liked. Yeah, I've never really liked him since
Game of Thrones.
You name it, Game of Thrones, Merlin. He was in. Didn't like him in that either.
I didn't know he was in Merlin. I stopped watching that though because I thought that was grossly overrated.
Yeah, I think it was as well. But yeah, it's just like me. The best thing about it was the little chimp.
The chimp, Pogo.
Yeah.
Would you realise that was is a graphic novel written by, I want to say Jared Leto, but I don't think it is Jared Leto. Who's the musician from 30 Seconds to Mars?
Jared Leto.
I think it's written by him, but now I'm saying it, I'm really doubting myself. Some musician wrote a graphic novel.
Oh, right.
I'm sure it's him. I mean, Jeeves isn't here again. Oh, hang on. Who wrote The Umbrella Academy? Portable Jesus.
Jeff Russo composed the song The Umbrella Academy.
Well, that gave me an answer, but not the answer I wanted. The song Umbrella Academy was written by Jeff Russo, but not the TV show.
Well, there you go.
About the exact same result as if Jesus was here, truth be told, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair.
I liked it. I thought it was really cool at the time. I thought it was really unique. So I don't agree with that unpopular opinion. I think it's quite the opposite.
Well,
I thought the casting was excellent. Having Elliot. Now, yes, but I'm referring to Ellen Page.
When she was playing a female character.
Yes, because she's still identified as a female. How does that go? I don't want to dead name anybody, but I'm not referring to Elliot Page because it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
I think
fucking minefield.
Yeah, I think you're all right because at the time she was credited as Ellen Page, so I think you're okay referring to her as Ellen Page.
Okay, well, Ellen Page. I think she was an incredible actor, and I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. I really. Yeah, I know, right? No, I've always really liked their acting, Z's acting. Gosh, too many pronouns these days. So confusing. I've always thought she's a really good actor. Just in the small role she does, like a Juno, she was incredible. They did a movie years ago called Into the Woods. That was fucking great as well.
Not seen that, but yeah.
It's a cracker one. But yeah, I thought the casting was absolutely brilliant in the TV show. I thought the soundtrack, and I know this is a contentious point, that if you have to have a decent soundtrack, it sometimes means there's a little bit a show or a film is lacking in content. But I thought the soundtrack was fucking brilliant in it, with the exception of the dancing in the moonlight bit, which was the most cringy thing I've ever seen in my life. But I think the overall plot is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree.
50 random babies born of people who weren't pregnant, and some crazy rich alien lizard man buys them and trains them to be a superhero force. What's not to love about that?
I just don't think it was very engaging.
No fun talking to you about this at all.
No, sorry, mate. I've got no opinion about it really. I just, like I say, I watched a few of them, and I was just sort of so meh. I think it's got built up a bit too much.
That's a problem.
Which is a problem when all you're seeing for ages is like, oh, this series is coming up, it's going to be amazing, blah, blah, blah. And obviously you see all the best bits in trailers and promo clips and stuff like that, and then when you watch it, it's just kind of like, oh, this isn't really what I was expecting.
Yeah, I get that. I find that when people hype stuff up, it really does fuck things up quite often. I mean, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head. Or maybe, actually, I can. The Sopranos.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think that's so massively overrated. I'm not into it at all. A few of my friends have just recently discovered it, but I remember it first time around. And I watched the first series of it, and I'm not a big Italian gangster fan.
You see, I am. I quite enjoyed that. I wouldn't say it was the best thing I've ever seen, but I did quite enjoy it.
I mean, I suppose you've got to be into Italian gangsters to enjoy it then, because
Pretty much.
I really didn't. I thought it was a pile of dog shit.
No, I think the one recently for me that's really hit me like that is WandaVision. WandaVision
was good. Did you not like it?
Dog shit. I've never. It's by far the worst thing that's ever come out of Marvel Studios.
No, it's not. Have you finished it?
No. Everyone's like, oh, you've got to get until it really picks up around episode 3, right? Which
4.
Either way, for a start, that's a problem. If you've got a series and everyone's openly admitting that it gets good from series 4, they're saying basically that's 3 episodes that you've got to watch of not good, right? And those 3 episodes, to start with, her voice was intensely annoying. Oh,
yeah.
Wanda, what are you know? It's fucking. Oh, yeah, kill me.
Loved
now.
it.
No, it was cheesy. It was.
Yep.
I don't know. And then you get to that episode. Spoiler alert! Anyone who doesn't want to have it spoiled. You get the modern day sort of stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And you start sort of getting a glimpse into what's going on. And it's just too little too late. It was just like, you're not rescuing this. You've already made me hate the main characters. The introduction of another character now is not going to change anything for me.
They really did redeem themselves by where it goes on. The only thing that I can agree with respect to that is the fact that it's 3 episodes, because the episodes all vary in length, which is very unusual. I feel like they could have done the first 3 episodes as a double feature, like an hour-long episode, quite easily. I don't think it would have been a problem to do that, because those first 3 are only 20 minutes long, and then you get some episodes that are a little bit longer after that. I loved it. I've really, really thought it was very good. But I liked I Dream of Jeannie, and I like some of those old 50s sitcoms. So for me, it wasn't a bad thing. I watched it. It was just like, oh, I can see what they're doing there. And then there's the subsequent making of documentaries that come out. They did some really interesting stuff. They filmed it in really interesting ways. They used like old technology to give it a very specific look and vibe and feel about it. Because you may or may not have noticed it jumped from like the 60s to 70s to the 80s as each episode went on. It did progress in that respect. But no, I thought it was a very clever show. It's not what I was expecting. The ending was interesting, and I think it opens up a massive different story arc. Different story arc. It works fine in the Marvel universe, which is interesting. I'm looking forward to see where they take it from that. Falcon.
I think it was. I haven't seen any of that yet.
Yeah, it's just boring.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea, poorly executed, in my opinion. But that is my opinion.
Well, you haven't finished watching it, so your opinion counts for fuck all.
I'm not going to either. I'm not going to. I've got no interest in it.
That's a big shame.
Yeah.
What other shows do you think have been hugely overrated? I mean, apart from WandaVision, I know you did just answer.
Yeah.
What do you think of Doctor Who?
I'm not a big Doctor Who fan.
Not either. I've enjoyed it. Sporadically, the odd Doctor here and there, because I tend to go not by series but by the Doctor, like the Christopher Eccleston on the first relaunch.
Oh, excuse me.
15, 20 years ago. I thought he was really, really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a Doctor Who fan.
No?
Even growing up, my dad used to stick it on every now and then. My brothers used to be watching it every now and then. I'll watch it, and it does. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my bag, really. My boys love it, but I wouldn't slate it. I wouldn't say it's shit, because
no, I think I'm with you, Mushi. It's not shit, but I definitely don't think it's as good as people make it out to be.
No, No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's many others that I really don't like. I mean, there's bound to be something that everyone thinks is amazing, but I don't.
Well, there's loads of reality TV out there that I think's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Love Island. Why do
Lost.
people watch that?
I didn't like Lost.
Not even the first episode.
No, I didn't relate to any of the characters in it. I just, yeah, no. But then I've never watched the whole thing again because by the time I'd got round to thinking like, oh, maybe I should give it a go, I'd already had the ending spoiled anyway, which made me even less inclined to watch it. But...
A total victim of that writer's strike. And COVID is this generation's writer's strike. Because that and Heroes, so what would that have been, about 2005? Yeah, and then the writer's strike happened and everything lost momentum and they just did poor storylines. They made the characters a bit shitty.
Yeah, it was all chaotic and
yeah, there's no like symmetry or anything good about it.
No.
Lost is an interesting one for me because I think that it has the best pilot episode of any TV show ever. I was not expecting it. They did a double bill on Channel 4 and then they did the next episode on 4OD. This was how long ago it was. And I spoke to my bosses at work and I was like, can I finish early today? Because this TV show is just coming out and it looks fucking interesting. Because it was really vague. The advertising campaign for it was really clever. It really hooked me in. And that first episode with the plane crash was so intense. It was like, have you ever heard the song by Justice called Stress?
Don't think so, no.
Okay, well, I thoroughly recommend listening to it. I like the French techno. For some reason, their techno is the best techno in my opinion. But they did this song called Stress, and particularly if you watch the music video, by the end of it, I felt stressed. It's like a song that literally induces an emotion. If they could do a song called like Happiness that induced happiness, that would be epic. But they've done one called Stress, and it made me feel stressed. Lost gave me that same. That first episode should be called like Anxiety. I watched it. I'm like, oh my god, this plane crash looks so fucking real, and everybody's so bewildered and like shocked, and they don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's exactly how I felt when I was watching it. I think it's the best start to a series with the worst ending to a TV series, all wrapped up into one, which is no mean feat.
No, it's quite impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, to have such an incredibly strong start and such a fucking poor ending. I watched the last series and I hated it so much, I never watched it again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, whereas I've watched that first episode like a dozen times because it's mind-blowing for listeners out there not watching us on the old tube of views. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep Lost out of the snake pit, if you will.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but if you don't mind,
that's fine.
Yeah, because I can see why people would dislike it. But
then that's like The Shield for me. I love The Shield, but I know that a lot of people don't like that.
The Shield, what, the Marvel version or the old thing?
No, the Shield, the series about the drugs and vice unit in LA.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Michael Chiklis. You see, that to me is one of the best series I've ever seen.
Do you find it relatable though, because you're an ex-Rosser?
Well, not really, because they were fucking bent. I was never bent. I don't think.
Never?
Not intentionally, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're. I thought that was brilliant. And the end. In contrast, the end episode to that series is probably my favorite ending from any series I've ever seen.
That's a bold statement. Give us a spoiler because I'm never going to bother watching it. How does it end?
Spoiler alert. Turn it off for the next 30 seconds. Basically, one of them ends up going loopy and killing himself. And Michael Chiklis, the main character, admits to everything he's done. He cuts himself a deal, admits to every single thing that he's done, including the murder of the federal officer in the very first series.
Whoa!
And thinking he's got away with it, but in reality, what happens is they move him to a desk job, and like the last scene is him just stood there or sat at his desk just watching sirens in the streets below, and you can just feel how fucking empty his life is now, and it's just such a good comeuppance from the whole lot.
Fair play.
Yeah, it's. I just thought it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But I get that nobody else likes it because it does get very, very slow halfway through it.
Yeah, so weird how that happens. You see, series, isn't it? Like, did you watch Dexter?
Yeah.
That for me went good series, bad series, good series, bad series, good series,
Very
terrible
much like
ending.
that,
Yeah, it was just so weird because the bad series were fucking awful, but the good series were brilliant. They were so good. And then he started fucking his sister, and it all just went to fucking pieces after that. I was like, why?
Well, it's never a good idea. It's never a good look, is it?
No, it's like, oh well, you are adopted, so it's fine. It's like, yeah, but we shared a bath, we were raised together. That's still wrong. It's just nasty. Just nasty. But yeah, I mean, we shouldn't really go down any more on TV.
I mean,
I think
we're running fairly low on time, actually.
I just saw the clock, which is incidentally a lot easier to do when it's daytime than it is at night time. Yeah, so should we think about wrapping up? But before we do, you mentioned a TV show to me. What was it called?
Which TV show? When?
You said you wanted to do a show based on a TV show again. It was on Prime. I want to say that it's not the 4400.
Missing 411.
Missing 411. Right, there you go, listeners, viewers, whatever.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing an episode coming up on the Missing 411. I'm committing to it now. So if you want to watch it to know what the fuck we're talking about, it'll be coming up within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Have a look on Amazon Prime if you've got an Amazon Prime. If not, there's loads of stuff on YouTube about it, individual case files and stuff like that. It's basically following a guy called David Polides, who's an ex-retired police officer who's noticed a lot of very bizarre similarities in missing person cases from national parks across America. And
well, let's not go into any more about it, but because that's going to be
Missing 411 is the documentary on Amazon Prime. Do watch that. There's also Missing 411 The Hunted, which is the second follow-up documentary to that, which is also very, very good.
Okay.
So do feel free to check them out because we'll be chatting about that soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming up. I just thought it'd be nice to give people a little heads up and they could join in.
Yeah, why not?
Tell us how wrong our opinions are.
Too wrong.
Should we plug the website?
Why not? Why not?
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all the normal finishing stuff, I guess. Insert here, like, follow, subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do like us on the YouTube page as well and subscribe. Hit the little bell thing because it does help us out quite a lot. Recommend us to friends if you think they'd like it, or if you don't think they'd like it, fuck them. Recommend us anyway.
That's a good idea, actually. When we're being douchebags, if you've got people that you don't like and you want to upset them a little bit,
throw us to
we'll even do shout outs for you if you got people that you want.
If you want someone called a prick, just let them know. Like, you fucking idiot.
Send us an email at Pacifist Podcast at Outlook.
And obviously the website's there, www.pacifistpodcast.com. Go and check that out as well. All of our episodes and everything should be uploaded on there, audios and everything like that. So do go and check it out.
And thank you very much for listening.
Indeed. Until next time.